Hi, this is Jim from Bored and Retired, and we're going to do a comic book read recently video today. Since it's October, we'll start off with some scary books. First one is from Marvel. It's called Crypt of Shadows, number 10. Not in the greatest condition, has a lot of tears, rips, and bad condition. You get 3 stories in here. None of them are really outstanding. This cover is about the only one that is worth talking about. It's about a pocket that you put stuff into and it just never has a bottom to it. I seen where it was going and I was right when I got to the end. All these are reprints from previous Marvel tales from many years ago previously. Then we have Chamber of Chills, number 9. Same thing, you get 3 reprinted stories from previous years in here. And it's not a bad book. The only complaint is the last story has a dream sequence in it. And I hate dream sequences in any of my literature. If I watch a movie and it has a dream sequence in it, I know that the director and the movie characters are not doing very well. They have to put a dream sequence in their movie to improve it. Like Batman versus Superman. 2 dream sequences in there. I hated them both. They both involve Batman. And that's the only way Batman will beat Superman is in Batman's dreams. Then I have Chamber of Darkness Special number 1. More scary stories. And of course you have Doctor Strange number 27. A good story. The in-betweener's in there and he's got to go up and battle a few of the strange creatures. And I got one from DC Comics called Star Spangled War Stories featuring the premiere of G.I. Zombie. I didn't think much of this when I bought it, but it's a number 1. I picked it up. I read it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's like 7 or 8 more issues in this series. And I may have to go out and find those issues because it's very enjoyable. The main character is obviously a zombie. It's set kind of like in the modern day. And he's a FBI agent and he has a partner. She's female. And they're trying to bust up some sort of a gun, drug ring. And of course, he gets tortured grossly. And he's a zombie so he can grow back his parts or they attach back to him. Very good storyline. Next we have Cole, number 4, Cole the Conqueror. And a lot of people talk about double covers. I think this is my only double cover that I have. So you also have a double cover in the back, obviously. I found that funny because I've seen a few videos and talking about double cover comics. And I happened to read one in this past month. Good storyline. Cole is sitting around with his compatriots and they're talking about adventures they've had because the city is under a plague and they got to pass time by telling stories. Picked up Avengers 146 and it's in horrible shape. It's missing stuff down here. You turn it around, it's missing the back covers, but it's a good story. An assassin's out trying to finish off killing Captain America. Captain America is in emergency surgery and Donald Blake, who's also known as Thor, is operating on him and they got some people guarding him. The Vision and Iron Man trying to keep the villain from finishing the job of assassinating Captain America. The next one we have is The New Warriors number 8. This is the Punisher. In the last issue that we left off, the Punisher and Night Thrasher are about to fight. In this one, they do the battle. And the end result is Punisher gets his butt kicked by Night Thrasher. A lot of my friends ask me, Jim, who would win between the Hulk and the Thor? And I say, well, it depends on who's visiting whose comic book. The Hulk goes to the Fantastic Four. Then the Fantastic Four will win. And if they're going to the Hulk book, then the Hulk would win, obviously. And there's a few different storylines in this one. Night Thrasher is trying to stop Punisher from taking out his girlfriend, and ends up misunderstanding, of course. And they have his other partners are down in Brazil trying to rescue Speedball's mother, who's joined a rebel eco-terrorist organization by accident, maybe. So they're down there trying to find his mom and bring her back. Number 9, we finish up the Punisher series. Everybody hugs and kisses, and they're happy. And we rescue Speedball's mom. Then we have King Conan. I'm a Conan fan. And you got a scary guy there. They call him the Brown Man. He comes up out of the water. He was summoned. He's got to be in the water, and he's pretty much invincible. So obviously, he gets lured away from the water and taken care of. Let's put these away. Then we have the Master of Kung Fu. Number 59. This one is a little strange. He has dreams, and the dreams kind of come true. He wakes up and something's happening that's very similar to it. So then we have DC Comics, Robin Rises Omega. I didn't know what to expect of this, but when I picked it up and read it, it's an amazing comic book. It has a great storyline. I haven't read Batman's current, it's like 2014, I believe, or in that neighborhood. And it's a one-shot, and basically it's Robin is in a coffin along with his mother in a different coffin. And some people from Apocalypse is trying to get those coffins because they have shards in them that belong to Apocalypse, Darkseid. And big battle between them and the League of Assassins. This Justice League comes in towards the end, messes everything up. And Batman vows to go to Apocalypse to rescue Robin. And this Robin's the Damian Robin, his son. In this one, we got Silver Surfer, number 60. He's facing off against a guy called Midnight Sun. Him and Silver Surfer faced off previously, and Midnight Sun has basically super cosmic powers also, but he can't talk, and he's trying to explain to Silver Surfer he did not mean to have a battle with him, but of course, battle ensues. And then we have Fantastic Four 207, guest starring Spider-Man. The Torch is under mind control by this little guy here, known as the Monocle. And the Monocle is at the Torch's Johnny Storm's college, and he's hypnotizing the kids to bring him back loot and everything. And Spider-Man gets involved, and obviously a Torch battle ensues with Spider-Man and the Torch. And it ends up happy. This, I'm not exactly sure what is going on in this one. This is all new number 1 Prime Ultraverse, featuring Spider Prime. He has some sort of superpowers, and they have a Spider-Man there that has a Prime Spider-Man. Malibu Comics, I don't have too many of those, but I did go out and buy quite a few Primes just to see what it's all about. I love DC Comics Presents, and this is a team up with Superman and a legion of superheroes. And when they get all together, there's a whole lot of different Supermans, and they have to fight them. Obviously, Superman eventually shows up, and they fight Superman because they think he's one of these Supermen. Of course, it was easy to figure out who was behind it, and they all did. Next is Wildstar from Image Comics. The main character seems to be from the future, and he has like a starfish type on his chest, It seems to be organic, moves around a little bit, and he's fighting other people that has similar abilities, and he gets blasted back in the past, and he ends up at a military base where they're doing experiments, and it's easy to figure out that the young kid that's involved, the teenager, is Wildstar, but not the current Wildstar. Wildstar from the future has visited himself in the past. It's explained more in Wildstar 2. Same thing, they're still trying to capture these other creatures that came back with Wildstar in his journey back to the past. 4 issues in this series, so I need to pick up 3 and 4. Every once in a while, I like to read Archie comics. I got Archie at Riverdale High. This is 2 stories in here. The first one is basically a Scooby-Dooby-Doo story, finding out who's the ghost. And then we have from Whitman, Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny. A few misadventures with them together. Not bad. I like the Flintstones. So we got the Great Gazoo. Many of you guys don't even know who the Flintstones are, or the Great Gazoo. The Great Gazoo was sent to Earth to be of help to Barney and Fred, mostly Fred. And once his mission is finished, he'll get to go back to his home planet as long as he helps out these guys. My friend had another copy, so they gave it to me, and I got that one. Then we have Superman Rebirth for DC Comics #1. I haven't read many of the Rebirth stories, but this one starts off Superman and Lois are married. They have like a 7 or 9-year-old son, and he's developing his superpowers, and that's about all I know of it. And at the very end, Batman and Wonder Woman come out, and some storyline involving those 3 come into this, maybe a parallel world, I'm not sure. Immortal Hulk 0. Immortal Hulk I've heard is a real great series to read. So I said I'll start with number 0 here. Next obviously came out many months after number 1 did. And it's actually 2 backstories that are reprints with a few panels from the current Immortal Hulk tying them together. One was showing, spoiler alert, Bruce Banner offing his dad. So he's living with that crime. But that one had the Stan Lee was in it. He was like a grave digger, and every time he would be in a panel, his scarf would change different logos. It would go from X-Men to Spider-Man to Daredevil to Hulk. Pretty cute. Quasar number 7. Spider-Man's a guest appearance, and they're facing Terminus. And this is the time when Spider-Man had his super duper powers. He was the strongest man in the universe probably, or the world for sure. And they get together and they get rid of Terminus, who is coming up from the Savage Land where he was defeated by, I believe, the X-Men. And they have to get rid of him, and they do. We have Quasar number 13. He visits at the old Captain Marvel gravesite and goes into some adventures from that. Nothing special in that one. And we have Speedball, the Mask Marvel number 1. Steve Ditko obviously created and drew this guy. He's like a 15-year-old, gets powers from accidentally gets powers from a project that goes wrong, and he bounces all over the place trying to control his bouncing, and it also gives him a costume when he changes into Speedball so nobody would recognize him. So not bad. I know him mostly from the New Warriors, obviously. I have most of the New Warriors. We have Iron Man 113. He's going off against the horn of the unicorn. This is the unicorn. Has a little horn on his hat. Shoots out some rays and bolts. And he's being controlled by somebody well away from them. And he's replying to the man as he's fighting Iron Man. Iron Man's trying to figure out who he's talking to. And Iron Man obviously takes out the unicorn and now has to figure out who is after him that sent the unicorn. We have DC #1, first issue, Superman 80-page giant. This is like 4 or 5 stories, basically dealing with Superman and day-to-day activities of Superman. They're pretty good. I liked them. The last comic book, since it's October still, is #14, Creatures on the Loose. And this one was the best horror books I read so far this month. The main one, you got aliens invading the world. You got this old, used up actor, and he's trying to get a job. And he accidentally goes to the wrong building. And he goes into a giant warehouse where these guys are. And he decides to use his abilities, makeup, to scare these guys off from the world of Earth. So, and he does. That's why we're still here. Well, I thank you for watching. This has been Jim from Bored and Retired, part of the DCP network.